Hey, this is Intermodaltrucker. My name is Larry, and we're actually going to be heading back to Sheboygan. I'm going to return John's bike here. Didn't get my 500 subs, but I was just messing around. And I think what we're going to do is, I think we're going to take a little scenic drive back to Sheboygan. And I did have a message from John earlier today, and he was like, he goes, yeah, I don't plan on riding, I'll just keep it out there. But my truck is sitting there right in front of his house on the street, so figure if it's kind of blocking things or whatever, so I'm just gonna return it, take it back over there and stuff. I've done this a bunch of times. I go over there and just borrow his bike, and a lot of times I take like trips or something like that. We'll go up, you know, up north, or went up to the UP or whatever, you know. I've done some trips like that. This right over here is actually Schwinn Trucking, and this is where I used to work. This is the guy. He has a bunch of cab over trucks. He actually has downsized tremendously. This is the guy that was trying to get me to be his trailer mechanic. Yeah, let's pull in here and I'll show you guys one of his trucks. He's got one sitting there. At one point in time, he had 13 trucks. 13 of these cab overs all fixed up. But he kind of went out of business. Now he's just hauling for other people. But you can see the trucks right there. One's all tore apart. What number is that? No, that's 340. That's a 10-speed one right there. So I remember when we got that truck and I went through it and did all the work to it. But I think that's like a 70. But those are his trucks, and he's hauling for another company, and he wanted the other company to basically, he wanted them to, they have a whole bunch of trailers they're going to buy, and he basically was going to be their trailer mechanic here in the shop, and that's what he was trying to hire me for. But I'm not going to do that. I don't think that's his truck. I was actually talking to his mechanic. I met him the other day. I saw him someplace, and I was talking to him, the mechanic that works for him. And we were talking a little bit, and he said that his personal truck, which is his newest one that they built, he said it's actually in the shop, and he's completely redoing it again. Said he's got it torn all the way down to the frame and repainting everything, and he's putting a new motor in it. They found a crack in the block, and so he's going to be rebuilding it. And I was talking about what he was offering me as a trailer mechanic. He's like, where are you gonna do that? He goes, you know, he's only got one bay. He's rented out half the shop to another guy. And he goes, in that one bay, he says, I got his truck in there all tore apart, so where would he think that you're gonna do that at? I'm like, yeah, I know. But he's a super nice guy. We get along real well. He went to high school with one of my older brothers. That's how I kind of know him, and we know the family. They, you know, just live down the road from us. So let's turn back in here. This goes back through a scenic drive that goes back to the woods here. It's like a state woods and campground all back in here. You're supposed to actually have a state sticker to go back in part of this, but hey, this ain't my bike, so if they write down my license plate and send me a ticket, well, John will get it. when I was younger, in the teenage years and stuff, we used to come back in here all the time in the winter time. Not this road, but the next one I'm gonna be on. We come back in here with inner tubes, and we try to get the inner tubes out of like tractor tires, you know, real big ones. And you pump them up real big, and we bring them up here, and there's an old abandoned ski hill back in here. And I haven't been back in here for years, guys, and we used to jump off the top of this thing. It was a lot of fun. And there was a wheel on the bottom with a rope, and I mean, like 30 some years ago, it used to be still there, and it was hooked to an electric motor. And there's like all cross-country skiing back in here and stuff, and they you could go down and you could flip a switch and it would turn on, and it was like a little rope puller thing, and you could it would take you back up off the trail, off the cross-country skiing trail, and it would take you back up to the top of the hill where the trail continued. Well, we used it for the inner tubes all the time, and we weren't supposed to be doing it, but it's a state, kind of like a state park thing. It's all over in here, and they close it down in the winter time, and they hardly ever plow the road back in here either. This one they do because people live on this one, but back from here back they don't. You can see right there on my right, that's the stop sign for the snowmobile trail that comes through here. Well, I haven't been through here in years. See if I can remember where we used to go tubing. The state part is right up here, I think. They have like a parking lot where you're supposed to pay like a fee, and I think you could camp back in there or something, just with like tents and stuff. I doubt there's anybody in here though with well, there's probably people camping and stuff, but I doubt there's any DNR people in here with the Memorial Weekend and all this stuff. Well, you know, probably one of their busy weekends, so maybe there is. Yeah, it's right up here. The Greenbush Group Camp. It's right there. There's some cars in there. I don't see anybody inside the gatehouse though. Now let's see if I can remember where we used to go tubing up in here. It's probably, I don't know, unless people have been doing it, it's probably all overgrown. I think that's one of them. I think that was one of the paths right there. There was 2 runs. Yes, this is it. So that was the first run, and then the second run is up on top of this hill here. Just park right here for a minute. Yep, this is it. If you're wondering why my voice is kind of muffled when I'm talking, when I'm driving and stuff, it's because I got my snowmobile helmet on. Yeah, this is where we used to go. Oh yeah, this is all overgrown. Nobody comes up here anymore. It was over on the other part that's down there that I drove past and pointed out, but this used to be all these trees were all gone. And this was a ski hill here, and there was another part that was over there. And they both combined, and it's way down there, guys. It's a long ways down there. And about, you can kind of see there's like a little hill right here. And then down just past where those trees have all grown, there's another big hill, and then it drops probably about 15 feet straight down. And we go down with the inner tubes, and we come off of that and just fly through the air. And when you landed, you had to hang on for dear life, because it would just, you would hit and you'd just bounce, and it'd throw you off. But it's way down there. It was a good intertour. That's all. You can see people haven't been coming through here at all. Looks like a few hikers or deer or something. That's what this is all out here. It's hiking. Wintertime, it's cross-country skiing, stuff like that. State Forest fee area. So this is the part I was talking about. You're supposed to have a sticker to be in here. But it's Sunday evening. I just don't see there's going to be a DNR in here. Oh, they actually got an address in here. It's a picnic area. I don't know why they have an address. Did they get mailed to the picnic area? Yeah, maybe somebody gets hurt or something like that. You can call an ambulance. Give them that address, I guess. There's actually a little pull-off up here. See if I can remember. It's actually, I think what it says, something about one of the founders of this area or something like that. He drove off a cliff drunk up here or something like that with his Model A or something. And so I think they named it after him or something. I don't know. Okay. I think it's right here, if I remember correctly. No, it's not that. It's right in here someplace. I think there's a plaque and everything. It's on one of these turns. It's a shame how they put the power lines here and kind of wreck the beauty of the, the woods and everything, and then they stick these big power lines right through the middle of it. But it's a modern era, I guess, right? I think it's up here. But this would be a nice road for a bike to crack it open, huh? I don't even think there is a speed limit back in here, but I would guess it's probably 25 or something. Probably if you buy the sticker or something, you probably find out. I think right here it is. Yeah, I think it is. I think it was down there that something happened. There might be a plaque up here. I remember reading it. Yep, down there. I remember reading this as a child. Let's walk down and see what it says. It's kind of weird how I'm within probably almost 5 miles of my house, but I haven't been back here in probably 30 years. Okay, I think this is it. It's a Greenbush kettle. It's like a big old thing here. Let's see what it says, because I told you guys how we're in the Kettle Moraine. It says Greenbush Kettle, the water-filled depression in front of you formed when the great ice age glaciers melted 10,000 years ago. Thousands of kettles were created here along the margins of the receding Green Bay and Lake Michigan ice lobes. Standard blocks of ice sometimes became buried by sediments washed out from melting glaciers. When the ice blocks melt, the sediments slump to form depressions called kettles. Kettles containing water are often called kettle ponds or kettle lakes. Kettles are found in a variety of shapes and sizes depending on the dimensions and positions of the corresponding ice blocks. Greenbush Kettle is noted for its steep sides and nearly circular shape. I could swear there was something about somebody driving off of this and their car was down here or something. It was like a Model A or something. I could swear there was something about a plaque like that. I don't feel like walking all the way down here. I'll get killed by mosquitoes. Yeah, it looks like it goes all the way to the bottom. I don't feel like going down there because you can see that standing water down there is probably mosquito heaven. This is a little bit off the beaten path here, but I thought I would just go through this way. It's kind of out of the way. I'm actually headed to Plymouth first. I have a hitch that I have for my snowmobile trailer. I bought a new hitch for it a while ago, and I bought the wrong size, so I need to return it to Fleet Farm and get the right size. So I thought on the way over there I'd stop and take care of that. But this back here, it's kind of like the other one, but it's not as remote. I have done a lot of hiking and camping here in my younger years. When my oldest child was very young, I actually used to put her in this backpack thing that I could carry her in. It looked like a regular backpack, but it was, she would sit in it, I would put her in it, and I'm talking like a year old or so. And I used to put her in here, and I actually used to come up there, and I used to park at that lot back there. And I used to walk back. This is all state forest out here. And we used to go back in here, and I was a big hunter and everything. Did a lot of bow hunting. And we used to go back there and just look for deer sign. And she just loved just hiking around in the woods like that as a young child. And she was very happy. And a few times I actually took a tent with me. And me and her would just go out and stay out in the woods. And my wife would be all concerned about it, but after we did a couple times and she enjoyed herself a lot, she was like, okay, gives me a break, I guess. So we used to go back there and just hang out. I mean, it had some pretty big woods back there. If you actually go straight here, this will take you, I think it's called Parnell Tower. It's like a it's a DNR kind of lookout kind of tower thing or whatever. You might see them like out west, and they put these big towers out, you know, where the people can go up and they can look around. The DNR guys, they can look around and, you know, forest fires, they can spot that kind of stuff. Well, they have some of those around here too, but they don't use them for forest fires. I really don't know the reason why. I think it's just like a scenic thing. There's actually a RC flying field that's right up the road here. I'm trying to remember where it is. I have never belonged to this club. When I had my hobby store, this was my competitor. Right there it is. He owns a hobby store right down here in Waldo, and he was kind of my competitor, and this is his flying field. And let's see if anybody's out here flying. But they built a nice little shed out here. They never had this before. I don't see any planes. I thought maybe somebody would be out, because they do a lot of flying here. The people are pretty committed, and it's a beautiful day. It's hardly any wind, but like I said, it's a little bit warm now. Yeah, I don't see anybody. Oh, they got a camera up here. Huh. I didn't know that. Look at that. I think that's a camera. Yeah, they built this. They just built this garage here. This was never here. That's nice. They got a loudspeaker up there and stuff when they have their fly-ins. But they fly. They can either go this way or whatever. And then they just park. If they're going to fly in this direction, then they park over here, you know. And the main thing is that tree right there, that big tree is a killer. That's gotten a lot of airplanes. People come around and they come in and they misjudge the height of that. Right into the tree. So this is their flying field. I can't remember the name of it. The Wilnets? No, that's not it. That's one in front of, like, I can't remember what they call it. But it's pretty close to Waldo, Wisconsin. If you want to take an internet search of it. In Sheboygan, Wisconsin. And I'm actually returning John's motorcycle. And you know what? I've had an idea. I've had an idea, because you know, John has had some issues over at JBG Travels. He's had some issues with his truck. You know, they had a problem with the motor, and then it was air compressor, and he's had a few other things, and he's had lots of codes and everything else. I think I figured out why John at JBG Travels has had such problems. Right here is his truck. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to investigate. I think I know the problem. John, he calls his trucks. He always puts names on his trucks. And he always had these names, and this one is called Baby Blue. Well, I figured out why the truck has been giving him problems. Let me show you. Right there it is. That is not a baby. So now we know it's not Baby Blue. You guys want to know a little secret? Do you want to know how to play a prank on a truck driver? It's not a nice prank. It's kind of like, it's kind of a naughty prank. I'm going to show you how to do it. What you do is you go up underneath here and you look for some grease. Right there. Oh, that's a good spot of grease. Just like that. And you get yourself a little grease on your finger. And then what you do is you just put a little spot of grease. Just like that. Just a little bit. And you put it on the door handle, so when he goes in here to open this, it's going to squish in his hands. If I didn't know John well, I wouldn't do that, but it's good for him to get pranked. So, I am going to head over by John and drop this bike off, and then I got to head home and get some stuff done. See you later. Well, here we are. Let's see if we can sneak John's motorcycle back into his garage without anybody noticing. Uh-oh, looks like there's lots of cars there. This might be a stealth mission we're on track for here. There's my truck sitting there. What in the world is written on my truck? Somebody wrote on there with marker, and it says, check out my 550,000 YouTube JBG Travel. He's using my truck as advertisement for his channel. Oh man, look at it. They wrote all over this thing. They got it on the tires. JB, bring Goldie back. Except it's Jackie. And Chris Henderson, what, are you part of this, Chris? That's not even cool, Chris. Oh, look at this. They're all sitting here waiting for me. Oh, I tell you.
That's what you get for stealing Goldie.
He says that's what I get for stealing Goldie. So you're using my car as free advertisement for your channel?
Yeah.